All right, hello everyone. We're going to try something a little new today. We're actually doing a voiceover on the video here. So this is Michelle, my biker doll, and she is sporting the Iron 883 through our lovely town of Lapeer, Michigan, and just going on a ride. So I was actually detailing the bike, doing a little cleaning on the bike, getting it all nice and shiny. This is her pride and joy, the Iron 883 2016. And we call the bike olive, hence the paint is actually an olive gold metallic. And yeah, so Michelle's taking a ride. Actually, I just gave her the option. I got the bike all cleaned up, and because we don't ride, we are two wheels together, and we don't ride too often solo. But I told Michelle I had a few more errands to do, kind of around the house, some tending to, this and that and the other thing. And I says, hey, take that bike for a ride and kind of air it out. So I did a full wash detail, and I blow dried. I got every nook and cranny, but it's always good to take the bike for a ride, or at least by any means is a good excuse to go for a ride, I would say. So here's Michelle. She's tearing it up. So she's just going through town. Gonna go for a little ride. So I want to do a voiceover to talk about what these bikes kind of mean to us. So yeah, Sportster 883. So what's neat is the Sportster came out in 2007, if I do believe, and kind of sparked a whole movement in the dark custom line of Harley Davidson. So dark custom meaning lots of black finishes, matte finishes, denim paints were starting to surface at this time. And yeah, just totally awesome bike. Actually, I might be incorrect in that. I believe the Iron came out in 2009. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Don't get me for sure here, but I believe the Nightster was the very first, and then the Nightster 1200cc Sportster, and then soon to follow with the popularity of that dark custom movement, the Iron 883. And then that bike was produced with just very subtle changes all the way up to 2022. So this being a 2016, this is actually the first year of a cosmetic and slight mechanical revamp. Slight mechanical as far as the shocks were updated, instrumentation. You got a tachometer on the gauge cluster, which actually came out in 14, but that continued to be pushed through the lineup. Different mag wheels, different exhaust, just very minor things. The ECU, the computer's slightly different. So just little updates. A lot of them are very surface updates most people wouldn't even recognize. But if you're a diehard and know your Sportsters, there's definitely a few little trinkets that kind of surface throughout the years to update the ride and the feel of the bike. So, but yeah, these bikes mean a lot to us. So Michelle actually learned on our 2015, actually I bought that bike for her, 72, and that's the model 72, which is named after Route 72 out in California, aka the birthplace of the chopper. Kind of like a Woodward Avenue out there in California. Obviously never been there, but I've heard a lot of cool things about it. And that's a large chopper culture had surfaced back then. And the 72 was born. So that bike features a mini ape, 21-inch front wheel. Definitely a little tougher to learn on, forward controls. To where Michelle, I give her full props. She dialed it in and was able to learn. We made a few changes to the bike in small increments to fit her better to the bike. And since then, we have it back stock because she's mastered that bike quite well, and myself as well. So myself being no expert to two wheels by any means, we learned together, and that's what made it really, really special and fun for us. But looking back, so our second bike, this is the Iron, and this baby is so sweet. And when I say that, it has, the 883 has a little bit tamer sole. It doesn't vibrate and shimmy and shake as much. Really, a lot of that is not only because the motor's a little smaller, but the primary gearing is slightly steeper. So it runs a little bit more RPM, but it actually smooths out the overall experience quite a bit. It also allows you to run in between shifts a little more frequently, with less RPM. So when I say frequently, I mean actually the duration. You can hold it in shifts actually longer, to where the 1200 you're more frequently shifting. So 883 you can run lower RPM all the way up to higher RPM, and the motor seems happy all the time, where the 1200 tends to like a little more RPM to kind of smooth it out. Both very similar, but both very different. So kind of in a nutshell, the difference in the 883. Power-wise, 1200 is quite a bit different, quite a bit more when you really stretch its legs. But honestly, for how we ride and the get up and go of the 883 is more than sufficient. And that's just, our personal outtake. A lot of people say the 883 is underpowered, but by all means, this baby will get up and go with one or two people on it. We have no issue. Every once in a while, if we're riding with a group and they really are taking off heavy and we're running together, two up, I can see having a little more power. So the big twins definitely start pulling away from you. But by all means, it doesn't take us long to catch up, and we're right back in the pack. So, but we do a lot of independent riding, and we do a lot of solo riding, things of that nature. So more than enough power, more than enough to put a smile on your face each and every time you crack the throttle. And of course, the look, the sound, the feel of this Harley Davidson is second to none. Which is really, really cool, because the Sportster, this Evo Sportster, so Evo meaning Evolution engine, is actually coming back with some slight changes for 2027. So we should see that in a few months. Mainly the popularity of this bike, they dropped it in 22. Mainly it wasn't meeting Euro 5 emission standards overseas. And they said Harley claimed, and I'm not sure if it's really corporate, but people did claim that they didn't really make money on these bikes. But we all know that's not true. They're going to build a bike. They're going to make a little profit. But it gets the customer in the door, and that's where a lot of dealers, once the bike kind of disappeared from the market, there was a few Sportster named machines that came onto play with a motor called the Rev Max, much, much different, still carried the Sportster name, and those bikes are very, very cool for what they are. And honestly, on a spec sheet, those bikes blow the older Evo Sportsters out of the water in every category. But at the end of the day, those are a 60-degree V-twin. They don't have the potato DNA like the older Harleys, so the sound's going to be very, very different. Much more like a metric bike, or a higher revving motorcycle. Extremely fast. They make great torque. They're lighter. They're better braking. They got better lean angle. They got better this, better that. They're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but the traditional customer is really kind of still craving that older, raw Harley Davidson feel of the Evolution Sportsters. So hence, they are bringing them back with some updates. So that's going to be very, very intriguing to see those on the showroom once again, and kind of see where it takes the brand, because once people get in the door, like anything, whether it be automobiles, power sports, and the like, once you find yourself happy with your purchase, if you're looking at updating, trading in, adding to the collection, getting someone in that door that first time, getting them on like a bike like the Sportster with a good price point, a good friendly feel to it. Very capable. A lot of people feel like they outgrow them. Well, they move into like a Softail, eventually possibly into a touring bike, or possibly an adventure bike. Some customers might be unhappy and maybe go to a different brand. But as a general speaking, if they do their research and they buy a bike that they feel they will enjoy, most likely they'll stay to carry with that brand. So that's definitely a good thing. So yeah, the video there, we did a little I did a little spin tactic of Michelle. Done a little spin for y'all. But yeah, she's having a blast riding around the pier here. We got sunshine and a beautiful day. Just absolutely epic times up here in Lapeer, Michigan on this beautiful sunny day. So honestly, right now, kind of a monumental time in our timeline for Michigan. We have smoke actually rolling in from Canada. There's some really bad wildfires going on. So if we were to take this video today, it would be much more hazy. It comes across the water and it's filling the town. And here we are at home editing this video tonight with our windows closed, even though it's a nice 70 to 80 degree night out there. It's pretty wild to have this experience with the wildfires across the lake over in Canada coming over. So hope for the best for all the folks living in those areas, and by all means, let God be on your side to get you through these times. A lot of people are losing their homes and different things. So say a prayer for the ones in need tonight, for sure. But yeah, just wanted to make a short little video here. Yeah, just kind of let you guys know what all we're up to. Just kind of living life, making it happen. And wanted to throw out a little info on the Sportster series. There's a lot of hype on the internet, and by all means, we don't have many subscribers, but we do encourage people to just subscribe. And we can fill you in on the latest and greatest Harley news. But we're passionate about the brand and passionate about our bikes. So hence this was a great video. Michelle says, hey, go ahead and do a voiceover tonight. Kind of talk about the Sportster, talk about kind of how we've been and what we've been up to, and kind of take it from there. So yeah, I gotta admit, I was a little jealous on this doing the editing here, because this looked like a nice ride. So yeah, we'll join it again. We'll do it again though real soon. So Michelle, Matt, two wheels together, and we do encourage you to like and subscribe, and by all means, we get some more content coming at you. It's a little time consuming with our busy schedules to fill in a lot of content, but we'd like to put a few videos out here and there. So we do encourage you to check them out when you can. So be safe out there. Enjoy the ride. Peace.